Hey, it's Bill Yohnka here at the X Country Studios in Kankakee, Illinois. I am a couple things. Number one, I am the voice of the Kankakee County Speedway. It's one of the most fun things I get to do in this life. Number two, I'm also kind of a nerd. So those two things combined today because I'm a real nerd about the Summer Nationals Series race coming to the Kankakee County Speedway. This is a unique thing in the world of racing because these teams go off on the road. They race just about every day for an entire month. The numbers vary from year to year because this has been going on for 40 years. I don't usually say things like this, but they call it the Hell Tour because really it's grueling. It's in the heat of summer, and every day is a different racetrack around the Midwest and beyond. So, some of the things about this I'm geeking out about. Now, there's been one set of father and son who've won this race. This race has run almost every year since the beginning in 1986. There's just been 4 years where it didn't happen in Kankakee. And there's been a set of brothers that have won. There's been a set of cousins that have won. There's been one racer who's won 8 times over 27 years was the gap in those years. Yes, it's amazing. And there's been 2 times that people have won 3 in a row. Now, let's go back to the very beginning, 1986. Keep in mind, be looking at the race cars because they're very cool, and be paying attention to the nicknames because I think they're amazing. They're some of the best ever here. 1986 was the Hurricane Hoosier. Dick Potts, kind of a local legend from Morocco, Indiana. Year number 2 in the 87, it was Billy Moyer, all the way from Batesville, Arkansas. You'll hear his name more. He became one of the very best in the conversation all the time in the dirt late model greatest of all time debates. Jim Curry won from 88 to 90, the first of our 3 in a rows. Scott Bloomquist. If you're familiar with dirt track racing, you know the name Scott Bloomquist. Yeah, he won here in Kankakee and went on to win the Tour Championship in 1991. In 1992, it was Bob Pierce. The tall, cool one came to Kankakee. It was a regular visitor in Kankakee, but there's no surprise that he won that year. 93 to 95, those were the 3 in a row for Billy Moyer, Mr. Smooth. Rick Auckland from, was it South Dakota or North Dakota? And he moved to Ohio. Rick Auckland, he won it in 1996. Joey Izzo raced regularly at Kankakee, and it was one of those years where a local guy who raced week in and week out in Kankakee kind of took that inside information and that regularity with the racetrack to be the winner. His brother Tony Izzo Jr. won it in 1999. Now, Don O'Neill, the real deal, Don O'Neill, won his first one in 2000. Then it was Bob Pierce again in 2001. Billy Moyer, 2002, he won it. The first win for Shannon Babb from Moweaqua, Illinois, the Moweaqua Missile, he won in 2003. Don O'Neill won again, his second in 2004. And it was King Kong Randy Cordy in 2006. Dennis Erb Jr. in 2007, the one-man band. And then 2 in a row for, yeah, you guessed it, Billy Moyer. And that brings us to 2011. Mike Spatola from Manhattan. As far as distance goes, Mike Spatola from Manhattan, Illinois, the closest hometown proximity to the racetrack. It's very, very close. We'll get that in a second. Shannon Babb won his second in 2012. Then in 2013, it was Bob Pierce. This time it was Bobby Pierce, his son, just 16 years old, won his first Tour Series race that year at Lincoln as the youngest ever at 16 years old. Then later that summer won at Kankakee. Just 16 years old, has now gone on to be in that conversation with Billy Moyer and Scott Bloomquist as perhaps, yeah, we're looking at maybe the greatest dirt track race car driver in late models we've ever seen. Then it was Billy Moyer. He won in 2014. Frank Heckenash Jr. in 2015. Frank Heckenash Jr. from Frankfurt. Almost as close as Manhattan. He's actually cousins with Mike Spatola, our cousins on the list. It's 2016 and 17. Bobby Pierce, you were seeing him come into his own, winning 2 in a row in Kankakee. 2018, Shannon Babb won his third. In 2019, it was Squirrel, Brian Shirley. That's his nickname. That's a good one. Frank Heckenass Jr. won his second in 2020. Then it was the mailman, Devin Moran, a star of the Lucas Oil Late Model Series in 21. In 22, it was Ryan Unzicker from El Paso, Illinois, making the trip. And spent a lot of time racing at Kankakee and found victory lane in Summer Nationals. Brian Shirley won his second in 23. And the last time in 25, it was number 25, the high side hustler, Jason Fager, on his way to winning the series championship. A lot of those same drivers will be back in attendance tonight, and plenty of new ones. And this is always one of my favorite nights of the year. And thanks for letting me be nerdy with you. Hopefully you can make it out to the Kankakee County Speedway and take part in history. And it's always in the making, right? That's how history works.